back with another video. But before we get too deep into this thing, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And come join the family. Let's get into this thing. So on this video, I want to talk about back roads, secondary highways, whatever term you want to use for it. Because let's face it, every pickup and delivery ain't gonna be on the main highway. You may have to take a back road to get where you need to go. You may have to just take one to cut through to get to the highway. I'm in Nebraska. This particular place I just delivered at, it's about 70 miles off of Interstate 29. It's back up in there a little bit. They get snow out here, winter weather. Something you gotta think about. How the road's gonna be back here. Now this is a state route, so they take care of it pretty good. But you gotta think about that. Do back roads bother you? Do trucking at night bother you? This time of year, it get dark at 5 or 5:30. The sun ain't coming up till 7 o'clock. You got a lot of driving at nighttime. You may go a month or two where you driving during the day. Then you may have a week or two where you on nights. The schedules change like that. All it takes is for one customer to hold you up. And then you got to split log it, now you on nights. You got to be able to accommodate for that. It's going to happen out here, Unless you run a dedicated route or you're home, you're working a line haul at a company, you out and back, and then, you work the day shift, and then somebody else coming in at night. Then, you really won't have to worry about that. But running this road, OTR, random freight, it happened to me, When I was pulling van and reefer, you get held up somewhere, it happens. Now you got to run out at night. You got to split log, you take an 8-hour break. And run at night to make your delivery on time. It's going to happen, and it's legal. So let's just I guess I'll couple those two topics into this video. Trucking at night, and also running the back roads. Because see, where I work at, we run a lot of nights. Now, you may run during the night for a little bit, lay down, get up in the day. That's the good thing about this tanker. At least where I'm at, the flexibility, We got guys that like to run all night. We got guys that don't. Me, personally, I don't care to run all night. I will if I have to. I'd rather be sleeping, though. But, this is where I talk about trip planning and your routing. Is it a state route? Just because it's a state route don't mean trucks should be on that route. Let's take, for example, US 50 in West Virginia, east of Parkersburg. East of Parkersburg, West Virginia. That's a curvy, hilly road. I've been down it, up and down it in a truck. With a 53-foot van, is not truck friendly. But US 50 west of Parkersburg in West Virginia, west of Interstate 77, that's perfectly fine. So you got to be able to accommodate for these back roads and know, US 95 out of Nevada. I think you catch it up north and you drop it all the way south. That's a 400 or 500 mile route. You got enough fuel to be back there? Are you gonna have cell phone service back there? Do somebody know you back there? Other than your company, do your family know where you at? Because if you break down or get back there and you ain't came out yet, they gotta know where to look. It's a lot of back roads that are in the middle of nowhere. They're desolate. I got Sprint. I don't get good phone service. Do you got good headlights for the back roads? You see my headlights, they're pretty good. I can't complain. That's my high beams, obviously, but do you got are your headlights good? Make sure your headlights are cleaned off. Make sure your windows are clean, that way you can see. Back roads, I feel like back roads, you're more prone to to have an animal strike, whether it's a deer, elk, a coyote, even maybe even a farm dog. There's farms on these back roads. With farms, you need to watch out for tractors, farm equipment. They will be on the road. They may be pulling some grain wagons that ain't got no lights on them. These are things you gotta look for any time of the day or year, but especially at night. You know, is there a low bridge on your route? Look what that sign back there just said. Crossroads. They said blind. I mean, this is a blind intersection right here. If you look, they can't tell what's coming over that hill when they come out. So that means the speed limit is 65 back here on this back road. I mean, don't go flying over that hill so you can prepare if something's coming out. Right here, we just dipped down in a little valley. You can see the road was wet. That means the trees are covering the road right there. So the snow has dropped off the trees, but also that part of the road may not be getting no sunshine. It's 27 degrees. I need to prepare for that being slick. So, speaking of my bright lights, I see that car off in the distance already. Just a little bit of headlights. I'm gonna go ahead and flick my headlights off, my brights off. I'm noticing more and more and more people don't care about riding with their bright lights on. And I know that some of these cars and trucks, they just naturally have bright lights even on their low beams. But it's bad too. It is people riding with their bright lights off. Now if that car just so happened to turn off, no harm, no foul. I may get up there, it may be somebody's lights off their house. That's happened where I've kicked my brights off. And I'm like, oh man, that wasn't even a car. That was some lights. You know, I get a little chuckle out of it. Ha ha. I keep on going. That may have been them lights right there on the left. I don't know. We're going to wait a little longer and see. But, you know, do back roads scare you? Oh, there go the car right there. See, they look like they had the brights on, but they didn't. So, do back roads scare you? Do they get you a little nervous, you know? Some back roads is straight, some is curvy, some is wide, some is narrow. US 35 in West Virginia, that's one of our main routes. That used to be a very narrow road. A lot of trucks lost their mirror down there. They done widened it out a little bit. And here soon it'll be a 4-lane highway. You know, these are things you gotta think for. Do I need to stop and swing wide to get around this curve so I don't run down in the ditch? Is anything coming? You know, this is part of not so much trip planning on that part, but with experience brings comfortability. But even with experience, I got over 14 years out here. I'm still learning. I still get nervous. I still get scared. I still get shook up out here. So I think that not being fully comfortable helps keep me on my toes. It helps keep me as safe as I could be. As soon as you think you know it all out here, something gonna happen. You run the same route every day for 5 years straight. You ain't gonna see the same thing every day. Something different gonna happen. Everything is forever changing out here. Weather, cars, technology, people. You gotta account for that. I just went on the rumble strip a little bit. We know the rumble strip work. But I ain't doing 65 in the curve. Just because it's 65 back here, I don't gotta do 65. Do what you feel safe. Okay, look, we got a road coming to the left, 55. Another blind one. I come around this curve, look, slow down, kick my brights off. Boom, ain't nobody coming? Okay, cool, no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. We right back at it. There was a dense fog advisory back there where I delivered at, and so I said, man, I want to at least get back to the main highway tonight. That way, I ain't got to worry about it. You know, at least, if that fog do set on in tonight, okay, I'm on the main highway. You know, that was my mindset. I'm gonna get on up out of here. Double yellow. Don't pass on the double yellow. Never pass on the double yellow. It's against the law. It's dangerous. That means you don't got a clear shot. I had somebody come at me head on a double yellow US 35 in West Virginia. I seen them off in the distance, and I noticed, I said, he in my lane. He was coming at me head on. I hit the brakes, held on. I didn't swerve, I didn't panic. I hit the brakes and held on, and I told myself, I said, I'm gonna hit this person head on. Less than a second, half a second. He went by me and squeezed between another truck going back northbound. And I remember I said to myself, I said, we didn't hit. I prepared myself. That's happened to me twice on that route where somebody's been coming at me. It's never a good feeling. It'll startle you. It'll scare you. You ain't expecting. But the thing to do with any vehicle, but especially these tankers, get on your brakes, hold on. Do not swerve. Do not leave the road, because as soon as you do, and that load shift on you and you turn over, guess what they gonna do? They gonna keep on going. Now, I will make an exception. I will gladly turn this truck over to keep from hitting the school bus any day of the week, man. I'm not having that on my conscience with no kids. I pray that a school bus ain't never trying to pass nobody on the back road where I'm gonna have that opportunity. But if it's me or a school bus, I'm gonna take me every time, man. I'm not hurting no kids. But let's get back to this. The real topic is that back roads don't have to be a scary experience. When I started trucking, I didn't like the back roads either. I wanted to stay on the, I'm be honest, I'd go 30, 40, 50 miles out of route if that meant staying on the highway. Just the back road scared me, you know, cars coming at me and things like that. But as I got experience and whatnot, I didn't let it bother me. You know, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is not a problem. Actually, like I stated in the previous video, I enjoy getting on the back roads. You see things that you don't necessarily see. You get to get off the big road, the hustle and bustle of the big road, everybody in a hurry. You get back there 55 miles an hour, you can cruise and whatnot, and just relax. Roll your window down if it's nice out and enjoy the breeze. Also, watch your speed in these small towns. They say 25, you better be doing 25 or 24. They will get you in these small towns. You see that sign? Speed limit. If it says, you know, you coming from 55, sign up ahead 35, you need to be at 35 at that sign. What that sign say? Narrow bridge. This is a narrow bridge. If you meet another truck on this bridge, you almost have to stop to keep from hitting each other. I don't get in a rush on this bridge. I just ease on by it. It's a little sketch anyway. It's a new bridge, but it's see-through on the bottom. It's metal. The metal grates, you can hear them moving and stuff like that. If you don't like stuff like that and they get you going, man, you better roll your window up. You're still gonna hear it, but you won't be on it too long. But you know, like I preach on this channel here, man, the key is safety, man. Safety is our #1 goal out here. We got a car coming at us, you can't really see. I can see the line, but so sometimes people don't get over on this bridge. So I make sure I get as far to myself as I can to the right. And like I said, we got a truck coming at us. If that truck flying or he over, man, it's over with. You can't accommodate for that. He going pretty good. See how close that was? That was narrow. These are things you're going to have to deal with out here. You know, I mean, it ain't no getting around it. So you got to make sure that you're comfortable and breathe, you know. If you got to get off the phone, get off the phone. Cut the radio off. There's nothing wrong with that. And you may, you know, especially being over the road your first year or two, there's so much in this country that I haven't seen. And I've been out here for over 14 years. There's so much of this country back road, even some of the main highways I have yet to touch and see. So everything is forever changing. You know, I went over, me and my coworker, we went over to Kansas and over in Emporia, where you used to get off there at the Flying J, go down and hang a right. They put 2 roundabouts in there. You know, you may come back later and it may be a whole different detour. They may put a bypass on that route. I'm noticing a lot of these back road cities are building the bypasses to keep the traffic and the trucks out of town, which I think is cool. It keeps traffic flowing You know, keeps you out of that busy city if you're not going in there. I like that idea of the you know, the state route bypasses that'll keep you out of that stuff. You know, I've had days where I've spent my whole 11-hour shift on a back road trucking, just trucking. Something different. It breaks the monotony of things up, the hustle and bustle. So the key is just to be as safe as possible. I've been on this road when it's been extremely foggy. It's not good. That will rattle you. If you can wait it out in the morning when the sun comes up, wait it out. You see a lot of trucks take this route. But it's also not a lot of traffic as well, if that makes sense. So you can kind of get back here, relax, do your thing. You know, like I said, we come here a lot. We come here in spurts. So I'm used to it. I know what to expect. That first time in or out, you may be like, I'm gonna take it a little easy, you know. Empty, coming back 2-3 times, you might be like, okay, 65, I can do that. If you got 65 on the back road, to me that means it's a straighter road. Because most back roads is 55. 55. But you got some flat land out here where you can see, you know, it ain't really a big deal. Back roads are nothing to be afraid of. Once you do it, get used to it. Driving at night, you know, you may say, I love driving at night. It's less traffic, less people on the road. I don't have really much to worry about, but me and a couple little cars and trucks here and there. You'll see a lot of the freight trucks on the road at night. I like this. You may be like, hey man, I like trucking when the sun is up. I like feeling like a normal person. It's all on preference, you know, but it's also all on how the cars fall sometimes. Sometimes the car is just gonna fall. That's gonna be the end. You're gonna be dope. Where you gonna have to truck at night. You may have been up the day before, get somewhere, get held up. Like I said, take an 8-hour break. Now you got to truck at night. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It may not happen consistently. You may have 3-4 days of trucking at night until you get that one load that gets you back on track. Okay, now I'm back on days. Cool. I did it. I really didn't care for it, but I made it happen. And now we back on track. You may be back on the track for the next 3-4 months. Then it may happen again for a night, a week, 2 weeks. And you're like, okay, I did it. Now I know what to expect. I know what to look for on these back roads. Deer. Potential of deer next 2 miles. What I say about the back roads. You got the chance of deer. I just want to make this video and say, with time, it'll come to you. Don't rush it. There's no bragging rights out here. Like I said in the previous video, you don't want to call your company because you panicked and you ran off the road. Or you passed your stop on this back road and now you panicking trying to do a U-turn. No, stop, breathe, get you a plan together. Put your flashers on, get you a plan together. I know GPS and phones nowadays, but you ain't always going to have service. You still need to have a paper map. Get it out, look at it and say, okay, is there a Walmart I can turn around in? Where can I turn around in? You may have to go pull up and back up into a residential street and then flip. You may have to back somewhere. But it don't matter if you got to call the local police and have them come out there with their lights on and back you up. Or help you or direct you to turn around. Get somebody on the phone that can help you. Sometimes these shippers and receivers can help you, sometimes they can't. They don't really pay attention to how they get to work, they just know how to get to work. So sometimes their direction's gonna be a little sketchy on these back roads. And you're gonna be like, man, that didn't work. What was they talking about? But I promise, I was new once. I was new where I was like, whoa. I still get on roads sometimes where I'm like, man, I don't know about this. It's got me shook a little bit. But you know what? Let's make it happen. I calm down, I relax, I get it done. And I'm like, man, okay. Sometimes I'm like, that was bad, you know? Then other times I'm like, nah, that wasn't too bad, you know? I got through it. Now, next time when I take that route, okay, cool, I know what to expect. All right, cool. You know, we can do this. So that's just a quick video. 20 minutes long. It's not quick, but I'm gonna get on. You see right here, I made it to Interstate 29. No problems. No problems at all. So I just wanted to hop on here and make sure I record the video, keep this progress going. Hopefully I'm helping some people. I appreciate each and every last one of you who take the time to view these videos. If you subscribe, if you don't, if you like it, comment, just know it don't go in vain. I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate you just taking the time to be here. As always, make it to your destination safely. You pick up or delivery safely. Call your loved ones, tell them you love them. Love on somebody today, but most importantly, be the reason somebody smiled today. It's Trucking with Shamel. I'll catch you next time. Peace.